Hey guys, welcome back from Classic Work. Hopefully I've got y'all a really quick and dirty video. It's something I never thought that I would have trouble with, and there's absolutely no videos out there showing on easier ways to do it. Trust me, I've looked. Is putting down tongue and groove flooring. Now, I've put lots of tongue and groove up in my time, but most of it has been 3/4 of an inch, 1 inch tongue and groove. This is 1.5 inches, and this stuff has been kicking my butt. So I'm going to show you some of the tips that I found on straightening boards, which is something that I've had to do in the past, but nothing like on this project. So I'm going to show you some terrible methods and some good methods, and hopefully I'll give you some insight if you want to put down a floor like this one. This is all 2x6 pine tongue and groove, okay? So every board you put down, more or less, you cover 5 inches, because 1/2 inch is the tongue and groove part of it, basically. So it's a very slow process. It takes me, I think, roughly 45 minutes to do one run, with me having to tote all the wood from outside and cut it and lay it out and everything. So this wood, the way it comes, when you get you a joint, you butt it up into the plank here, and see, I can't do it with one hand. And you know, I'm sure most people have seen the old method where you take a scrap piece and you take this and you put it in the groove and you beat it with a hammer to get all this to suck up. Well, this stuff won't do that. There's too much friction between it. So they've got a few tools out there that's supposed to help with this, but I've had trouble with them. So let me get you all set up and I'll show you what I'm dealing with. Okay, hopefully y'all can see. So basically, all you gotta do is shove it up in there.
That's what she said.
Make sure it's all the way down. And more or less, you should be able to take a piece along with a hammer and just beat it into the piece there. But if you can see, it jumps back, okay? So, they make tools for this. This tool happens to be known as a bow wrench, and I have not got this to work successfully. So basically, the way it works is you stick it on the joist, and you're supposed to be able to pull it on there, but it seems like every time I use this thing, it does not push it straight. It just, see, it jumped out in front of there. And the bad thing is, if you're by yourself, you about need somebody to hold it for you, but you can see that's not tight, and it's raising it up. So, I did this piece of junk one better. Come up with this device, which I call the stick. Probably can see it. This is stick number 4. I've used quite a few of these. You run out of holes eventually. You just have to make a new one. But this works better. So put your screw in there. Hole here. There we go. And then you can use that and lever it over. See, that works pretty good because it's nice and straight. So let me pre-drill one back here. Problem with it is you got to keep pressure on it, and that's a little difficult to do when you're by yourself. Okay, and you see when you relieve the pressure, it'll open up on you, so you have to constantly keep it bowed up. The other problem is you'll bend your screws a lot of times. Here, I'm gonna move it up here. So we'll do it again. There you go, that one's sucked in pretty good. And you don't have to pre-drill these. But I've learned if you don't, you bust your tongues out.
That's what she said?
So, as you can tell, this is a slow process. And on where you go. So, the stick method works it works pretty good. This is what I did for probably maybe 3/4 of this floor until I found out this, which I wish I'd have known from the very beginning. Now this board happened to be pretty straight. Leave it to me to get the straightest board out there. So basically what you do is, this is what we're making. Nothing but a wedge, okay? So what you do is you take your board, like this one, take you a skill saw or a miter saw and just cut you a long taper on it. It ain't gotta be exactly this, but be sure you get your tail side, that way you get, you know, your little groove in there. So you can see that this needs to move over 1/4 of an inch. Just get you a block. It doesn't have to be the same material. It doesn't hurt to be the same thickness though. Okay. You ain't got to get it as tight as I did, but you can. Take your wedge, stick it in your tongue. If you still don't want to go all the way, take your knocker block, hit it a couple licks. She'll tighten right up.
Oh, no, not that. Just come on, you guys, let's do it.
Do all your pre-drilling, put your screws down, and it'll hold that until you get ready. You don't have to hold a board with your knee. It's super duper nice. I don't know why. As many wedges as I've used in the welding world, why that did not come up in my brain when I started this project. But yeah, super duper easy. Okay, now to get it out, take your hammer, hit on the same side as your wedge on the block. That'll knock your wedge out. Keep it from bending your screw. They still get bent sometimes though. Of course you're gonna act up. That don't happen every time, I promise. There we go. Yep, that's how you do that. But I've used this wedge, you can tell it's been beat on probably, it's probably moved 50 joints. And it's still holding up just fine. So, it's great. It's something you can carry around. It ain't super long. It ain't awkward. It gets the job done. And that's the name of the game. So, this was an easy board. I'm going to try to find one that's a little bit tougher. Just to show you how well it does work. So I got one end tied down there. We're going to stick our block right here. Okay. Put our wedge in. Bump it over a little bit. That went pretty good with just a bump block. Seal the deal with that baby. But I've had a couple of them that they just wouldn't go. It could have had a dip in the tongue or something may not have been the same thickness or whatever. You can put as many screws as you need in this and you can push it with that wedge It's incredible. So combination of drive the wedge, hit it with a bump board, and you'll get it every time. It's great. Like I said, I wish I had known in the beginning.